Edwin shares this, and I want to share this as well. MayDay is coming up. MayDay is it's Friday, right? Yeah. MayDay is Friday. And a lot of protests are planned. A lot of rent strikes are planned. And here's some coverage of that from The Intercept. And then we're going to see something a little interesting. So with millions unable to pay for housing next month, organizers plan the largest rent strike in nearly a century. Want a grim picture of the state of American dissent during the coronavirus pandemic? Take an overview of the media coverage from the last week. The press focused disproportionate attention on a few hundred white reactionaries in a small number of states rallying against social distance measures. So what they're saying is there were a bunch of general strikes and rent strikes. All that was going on, but all you heard about in the corporate press was the people who were protesting to reopen the states, which were basically just Trump rallies too. I mean, it was just, you saw a bunch of Trump signs. People were saying, reopen the states, reopen the states. And again, I feel those protests are misdirected. Your anger shouldn't be, you shouldn't be protesting to reopen the states and put people in danger. You shouldn't be protesting, reopening, and potentially endangering more people. You should be protesting the fact that your government has been non-responsive. You should be protesting the fact that your government, instead of providing relief to the people, is providing the relief to the banks and telling the people to pound sand. That's what the protest should be about. That there's not rent suspensions and Morgan suspensions. Morgan. Who's Morgan? I'm mad at Morgan. Get Morgan on the phone. Tell her I'm upset. We got to suspend Morgan. Who's Morgan? I don't know, but she's suspended. Mortgage suspensions. Say it 5 times fast and then judge me. All right. So they're talking about how they're not talking about any of the rent strikes that are going on. Meanwhile, we're going to see one of the biggest rent strikes in about a century in a handful of days. The numbers committing to a rent strike might seem insignificant, according to the article, compared to the millions who don't frame non-payment as a strike, but simply will not be able to pay rent in the coming months. But the first week of April, 1/3 of renters nationwide, approximately 13.4 million people, have not paid rent since then. 26 million workers have joined ranks of the unemployed. Organizers of the rent strike, however, make clear the action's relevance. The slogan of the rent strike campaign says it all: can't pay, won't pay. The reframing of non-payment as a strike, an act of collective resistance, is a powerful rejection of the sort of capitalist ethics that accords moral failings to an individual's ability to pay a landlord. All right, so that's what's happening. We are going to see a huge rent strike on May 1st. And how big has it gotten, you ask? Well, it's gotten so big that even these guys are acknowledging it. Who are these guys? I'm not talking about The Intercept when I say these guys. I'm talking about the Wall Street Journal. Rent strike plan for May 1st as pain of coronavirus deepens. Most residents at 17 buildings near Elmhurst Hospital Center in Queens, New York, have committed to stop paying rent. Boom. Even the Wall Street Journal is talking about this. That's when you know you got a movement on your hands. When the Wall Street Journal acknowledges it. Even the Wall Street Journal in their ivory towers where they're like, the stock market's fine. People are unemployed. That must be a drag. Wonder what the poor people are doing. When even they're saying, yeah, May 1st, rent strike. That means you're onto something. We're getting there, folks. We're getting to a general strike. And I think what's one of the good websites for me to plug here? Because I just follow stuff from the tenants unit. Jesus, I can't talk this morning. I just follow the tenants union in my neighborhood. I follow the Los Angeles Tenants Union and the Pasadena Tenants Union. So I would say to everyone out there, you can go to canceltherents.org. Here, let's go there. Canceltherents.org to find out actions in your neighborhood. Here, let me show this to you. So that's what's going on. Cancel the rent. If we can't work, we can't pay. I attended one of these car protests in my neighborhood, and they're actually kind of fun. You know, you honk at each other, you drive around, you social distance. And then the organizers of the protest, they stand outside, social distance from each other, and then you make a loop around the area in unison, like you're a lineup of cars, and you drive and you protest. Car protests are pretty cool. I didn't know it's not as cool as a regular protest where you can all be outside, but in the era of social distancing, it's what we got. I showed up to protest outside of the mayor's house. And they're going to be doing that on May Day as well. And of course, whenever I'm going to these things, I will be covering it and sharing it with y'all. So go to canceltherents.org to find an action near you.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our